Welcome back for another video. As Double Game Week 22 approaches, in this video we look at how the team's shaping up, the transfer plans and all the talking points for this coming game week. Lots of exciting news in this one as well, including a redesign of some parts of the video which I hope you like. The other exciting news is that today's video has been sponsored by Fantasy Football League. FFL is a new, free fantasy game for iOS where you can play fantasy football in multiple leagues at the same time. If you want a front three of Messi, Haaland and Lewandowski, there's nothing stopping you. Or if you only trust your Premier League knowledge, then pick an FPL based team. There's no right or wrong way to play. You can select players from the Premier League, La Liga, Champions League, Serie A and many more. Click the link at the top of the description to play now with me, and the link will also auto-join my mini league. Big thanks to Fantasy Football League for supporting the channel, and you can support the channel too by playing. To get the app and join my league, click the link below, or go to ffl.co/fplfocal now. Let's start with a look back at how last game week went. 89 points, which was a good green arrow. Let's talk about Kepa and Ederson first. Long-time watchers of the channel will know that I ordinarily never rotate goalkeepers. It's fairly rare that we actually get a keeper like Ward who's 4 mil and you can actually play them as a backup. Typically I'd have a 4 mil keeper as a backup who doesn't even play, and then a set and forget starter. That said, there was an opportunity of Kepa and Ederson, who between them had 3 double game weeks. This one couldn't have actually played out much worse though, about 25 points worse off, which is unbelievable. Was this one unlucky or just a mistake to target the double game weeks for keepers? Let me know in the comments. Anyway, on this channel we talk about all the highs and the lows because they're all learning opportunities. I'm inclined to say this one was bad luck and ordinarily wouldn't have played out so badly. Targeting double game weeks is a good way to play FPL. However, the good news was our transfer last week. Martial left the team and in came Nketiah, who put up a 13-pointer. In case you missed it, we're deliberately going differential in some areas of the team to try and regain some lost ground, as we're still ranked way off where we want to be. Odegaard getting the assist for Nketiah's winner was a cherry on the cake. Let me know if you like the new layout on the left hand side. I read every comment and always receptive to your feedback. And lastly, before I forget, it's not too late to join the fplfocal mini league with other subscribers. Your points will start from the beginning. The league code is OHQB60 and there's an auto join link in the description. So let's have a look at how the team's shaping up for Game Week 22 and the transfer plans. Is this the end of the Kepa and Ederson curse? Kepa gets the nod in goal home to Fulham, and it's Ederson bench for his away trip to Tottenham. Back-to-back clean sheets for Chelsea in their last 2, perhaps turning a corner, and they've only strengthened further in the January transfer window. Since the restart, Kepa has 34 points, which is one more than Pope and more than any goalkeeper. Particularly impressive when you consider that Newcastle are yet to concede. Kepa's passing and the saves he racks up earns him those extra points. The back 3 is Gabriel, Trippier and Shaw. Gabriel away to Everton this game week, who have since sacked Lampard following their loss last game week, and Dyche comes in, who's a very good acquisition. He'll shore them up defensively and turn them into a tough side to break down. Will we see a new manager bounce? It's very possible if the players had lost confidence in Lampard. Yet to get any attacking returns from Gabriel since bringing him in, but over the season he's highest among all defenders for expected goals with 2.92. Next closest is Share with 2.09. Shaw missed Man United's League Cup and FA Cup game, which Ten Hag said was due to illness. At the time of recording, Man United have one final League Cup game against Nottingham Forest before Game Week 22. We hope to get some good news ahead of that fixture and the double game week. At least the illness came over the 2-week gap between Game Week 21 and 22. On the unlikely chance that Ten Hag says he's out for both games, then he'll leave the team, but it sounds unlikely based on his recent comments. He gets the vice captaincy as it stands, but this will move on to who we're transferring in. The midfield is Odegaard, Rashford, Almiron and De Bruyne. After picking up his 14th return of the season, Odegaard's moved further ahead as a top scoring midfielder with 117 points. In my eyes, he is the best Arsenal asset right now, but Nketiah and Saka are very close behind, and you need to be tripled up one way or another for the double game week 23, whether that's including a defender, like in our team, or if you're a Martinelli owner. Besides their double game week 23 around the corner, looking further afield, Arsenal don't blank in game week 25 when 4 teams will, and they also don't blank in Game Week 28 when many teams could. There's unbelievable value in the Arsenal assets, who are pushing for their first title for 18 years. Rashford gets the captaincy. I've been strongly weighing up another player who we'll talk about shortly, but it might be overthinking it given his form. Arguably the most informed player in the world right now, as no one scored more goals since the World Cup concluded in any of Europe's top 5 leagues. You can make the case that Man United have had some generous fixtures, including Forest, Wolves, Bournemouth and Reading, etc. However, this double game is a pretty generous pair of fixtures as well. Almiron is a potential transfer out this week. Again, if we use the restart as a time frame to look at recent form, he's amassed 1.49 expected goal involvement, which ranks 43rd among all players. A massive drop off from his pre-World Cup form, unfortunately. More on the transfer plans at the end. One player who's leaving the team is De Bruyne. His underlying numbers have actually been solid, so we've been unlucky, having owned him since Gameweek 17. 3.79 expected goal involvement, which ranks 5th in the league since the break. There's a chance he comes straight back into the team in Gameweek 23 when Man City double, more on that later. The front three is Kane, Nketiah and Haaland. So we've benched Ederson, and therefore an ideal scenario for the team would be a Kane goal in the rematch against Man City. Spurs playing home this time round after a 4-2 loss away to City in Gameweek 20. One surprising signing in the January window was Cancelo leaving City on loan to Bayern Munich. He certainly hasn't been playing at his best in recent weeks, but City's position reportedly was that they felt they had adequate cover without him. I wonder if something has happened behind the scenes, as Man City don't seem quite right. They are playing well overall, but not at their best. If you're an Ake owner, you benefit the most from Cancelo leaving. Lewis is definitely one on the watch list as well. Since Gameweek 17, only Haaland's amassed a higher expected goal or expected goal involvement than Nketiah. Only 6.7 mil and 6.2% owned, what more can you ask for? Everton away has historically been a really tough game, but not recently under Lampard. It's really tough to call how this one goes under Dyche. We'll talk more on Everton shortly. Haaland completes the 11. It's nice to have a game week where he's not the default captaincy pick. You might have seen the graphic I shared over the cup break. Only 3 players have ever started an FPL season priced at 14 mil, Henry, Ronaldo and Van Persie. Do you think he's set to join a very exclusive club next season? How much would you pay for him? He's now at 25 goals for the season, with the all-time record at Salah's 32, so he needs to score 8 in the remaining 18 games to beat it. Fun fact, the Premier League used to have 22 teams rather than 20, which meant 42 game weeks. Andy Cole and Alan Shearer have the all-time record in a 42 game week season, with 34 goals each, which Haaland might even beat as well. On the bench is Ederson, Andreas, Doherty and Patterson. So Doherty's reportedly on his way to Atletico on loan for the rest of the season, with new signing Porro inbound from Sporting to Spurs. This does pose a problem because Gameweek 25 is a blank game week where Man United and Newcastle are favourites to blank. There's really no one worth bringing in for him this week though. A least offender would mean benching Gabriel, which doesn't feel worth it. The other issue is Patterson. He might be back for Gameweek 25, but we also hope that he will be in Dyche's first choice 11 over Coleman. That's a headache for another day though, which can't be resolved now anyway. So moving on to the transfer plans. Releasing Martial for Nketiah last game week had the intention of freeing up a Man United spot to go De Bruyne to Fernandes, so the plan is to make that move. A -4 is also being weighed up to sell Almiron to Rodrigo. Leeds are likely not to blank in Game Week 25, so this does resolve the potential Almiron blank, and it also drops an out of form player from the team and it attacks the double game week. It's rate dependent on price changes though, as both he and Bruno are close to a rise, and I try to avoid early transfers whenever possible. That wraps up today's video. Thanks for watching, and thanks again to Fantasy Football League for supporting the channel. Hit the link at the top of the description to get the app and play with me. See you soon for the next one.